Hello friends, today we are going to start with the second topic of intelligence. Standard 5, we have discussed our first topic, comprehension, where we saw that there were 3 subtopics which are based on either word knowledge or alphabetical series and number series. So that has given you a brief idea about what type of questions are asked in scholarship. That was basic knowledge that you had even in your curriculum, in your regular studies, what you do. The same was asked here. It was nothing different about it. Okay, the way of asking it was a bit different. Today we will go to the next topic, which is the second topic in your syllabus, which is classification. Now, if you see the word classification, we will not go to the dictionary meaning of it. But let me know that do you know why do we classify, or what are the benefits of doing classification and how it is done. For example, if I say that it's your study table and a study shelf, okay, you keep your books, you keep your textbooks, you keep some reference books, some self-studies are there, some books which you use in your tuition, some books which you are using in your school. Now this year when you're for scholarship, you'll have some different material using for scholarship. Maybe some textbooks are there, some other reference books are there. Some people may have habit of reading few things. Okay, they are good readers, we say. So you have few small novels or some articles which have been published, okay, on regular basis, or say you have some old books, story books that you are reading. Okay, you have so many things which are being kept in your shelf. Now, if I say that these books are randomly kept, okay, anyhow, whatever comes in front of me, I have just picked up and I have kept them. Then is it easy for me to find out some particular book? If I ask you, I want your science textbook, you will not know where to search it. It's going to be a mess. Okay, so what is the easy way of doing it is I'm going to classify them. That means I'm going to segregate them. I'm going to separate them. Okay. Now, when I'm separating, there should be some criteria. The criteria can be different. Maybe I'll say that my school books will be separated. My tuition books are kept separate. My scholarship material is kept separate. So, this is a brief classification. Okay. On a larger scale, we'll say. Within that also, again, I can have separation. With my school books, I may say that my textbooks I'll keep separate, my notebooks will be kept separate. Again, in notebooks, my class books are separate, my homework books are separate, my practice books are separate. So, if this is the way I segregate them, then my work of finding a particular book, okay, becomes very quick, okay, and becomes very smooth also. It's not a tiresome job. Otherwise, I'll have to remove everything. And then I keep on searching whatever I want. So segregation basically is done for your convenience. This was a simple example that I gave you. You must have seen in your science syllabus that you have a topic where we have classification of the things that we see around us. Okay. Briefly or on large scale, we classify them as living and non-living. But this is a very broad classification, that whatever I see around me, if it's a classroom, then we know maximum things that we see are non-living things. It's only the teacher and the students that are living in the classroom. Rest of the things are non-living things. Okay. Then surrounding me outside the classroom, I have so many things which I can segregate as living and non-living. Then again in living things, we know how do we segregate. Animals, plants. Animals, again, you have different categories in them. So why this is done? It is just for convenience. So that if I want to study a particular animal, then I know in which category it follows, what features it will have. Now see, we are going one step ahead. Initially we said, why do we segregate them? It's for convenience and time saving. Okay, it's saving your energy, it's saving your time also. Second, we have said when you're segregating, you need to have some criteria. Now what is this criteria? The criteria can be color, criteria can be size, criteria can be some characteristic of that particular thing. If it is possessed by a particular class, it's processed by particular items, then they are kept together. So this is how classification is done. This is a very important feature that we are going to talk about. So if I'm given something, how do I segregate it? For segregation, I need to have some characteristic which is common to some of them so that they are put in one basket. For example, in the classroom, you see, you have children. So I segregate them saying on their gender. There are some males and there are some females. This is broader classification. I may have classification saying that age group of this particular 5th standard children are say 10 to 11 years old. So some children who have completed 10 and 11 running, some have completed 11, 12 running, some have just completed 9 and 10 running. You have these 3 age groups that you are there in the classroom. Or I may segregate them on size, weight. Okay, I may have groups saying that from this weight to this weight. Okay, say 25 kg to 30 kg, 30 to 35 kg. So my criteria for classification will be decided according to my requirement. Okay, now here in classification for scholarship, criteria is not something which they'll ask you. You have to decide. You have to identify. So when I say you want to classify, what you have to do is from the given 4 options, you have to find out which 3 have a particular similarity, which 3 belong to a particular class depending on the feature that they have, depending on the characteristic that they possess, so that the 4th one is going to be odd, which will not fit in that group. Okay, broadly we'll say in classification you have 2 types of questions that are asked. One, they'll give you 4 options and they'll ask you select which is the odd man out. Okay, this is one typical type of question that has been asked, is select the odd. Term. Okay, so this is one type of question. That is 4 options are given and you have to select the odd. The second type of question that is asked in classification is select the correct option to match the given group. So this is question number 1 and this is question number 2. These are types. These are 2 different types that are being asked. So either I've been given a group. So when a group of words, group of numbers, something like that is given, then you have to find out what is the similarity between all those words. And then from my option, I'll have to select which is the word which is going to fit in that group. Okay, that is second type of question. First type of question, 4 options are given. You have to find out what is the similarity between the 3 of them. And then the 4th one which doesn't possess that similarity is going to be odd. Now questions, subtopics for classification will be, you're going to have words. Again here your knowledge of language will be tested. Second is going to be numbers. And third is going to be figures. Same question type is going to be same in 3 of them, in all 3 subtopics. Okay, so when you have words, you need to have all knowledge from your language. Different type of words, as we have seen in comprehension also. Opposite words, similar words, meaning of the word. Okay, from what category they come to, what similarity they can possess. All that knowledge you need to have. Nothing directly will be asked over here. All these are indirect questions. The type is select the odd man out. So from the given group, you have to select what is odd. We'll go for few examples. Okay. The first option is timid. Second option is coward. Third option is till, T-I-double-L. And the fourth option is shy. So if you just look at all four options, you will see that the word timid and shy both are similar. Okay, these two are the words which are very commonly used in your textual language also. Okay, maybe the word coward is something which is not so used to. Okay, not a very common used word. Okay, but at least timid and shy are the two which are similar. We know them. Okay, now what is the meaning of the word till? T-I-double-L. Okay, so they are definitely not similar to timid and shy. Is coward similar to it? Yes. So here what knowledge am I using? I am using the word meaning of that particular word. So all these are synonyms. Timid, coward and shy are the words which have same meaning. So these three options are going to be same, whereas option number 3, which is till, is going to be different, which is not fitting in the particular group. It's an odd man out, we say. Okay. So here correct answer would be option number 3. Now, we'll go to next example where the words are pond, village, trees and banana. Now if you see the word pond, village and banana, these are singular, whereas the word trees is a plural word. Okay, so trees is going to be odd over here. Now all the knowledge of your grammar, of your language is going to be tested over here. Many a times questions asked in this category are going to be of medium difficulty level or easy difficulty level. Okay, very difficult are very less from this category. So these are the ones which you can score, provided your language knowledge is very good and you are able to implement it very quickly. So here nothing has to be interpreted. Very simple. 4 options are given. I just go through the options and I should know what similarity do they have. We'll go to one more example. Example is plank, bag, notebook and gardener. Okay. Now we know that bag and plank are the objects which are non-living. Okay. Whereas the word gardener is used for a living thing. So plank, bag and notebook has a similarity that they are non-living, whereas gardener is a living thing. Okay, so it is going to be odd over here. You need to have knowledge about calendar also. The months, the weeks, okay, the name of the week, days in the week. Okay, one example is given here where the months are written in Marathi. Okay, according to Hindu calendar, we have the months written in a particular sequence. See what is given here. Option number 1 is Vaishak, Ashad, Kartik and Jeshta. Now you need to know their sequence, you need to know their places also, okay, positions of them. Vaishak, Ashad and Jeshta are the months having 31 days, whereas Kartik has 30 days. Okay. Now this, instead of Hindu calendar, if you go into for English calendar, you will see that you have months, few months have 30 days, few have 31 days. Okay, we'll write down those months also. If you start from January, we'll not write the entire name. January is, see, these are 30 days and these are 31 days. So January comes under 31 days. February is 28 or 29. It is neither 30 nor 31. We know in a leap year it is 29, whereas in a non-leap year, so January is 31, February comes in this category, March again here, April here, May, June, July, August. You need to remember that July and August consequently, okay, they are under 31. So July, August, September, October, November and December. So this is the sequence. We know alternately in the entire year you have only 4 months which have 30 days, whereas 2, 4, 7 months which have 31 days, and it's only 1 month which is either 28 or 29. This is the basic knowledge that I have about calendar. Now what is used here, okay, or what criteria do I have? So in my options I may have June, okay, I may have May, I may have September, both will come under the same category. Okay. June 30, May 31, September again 30, okay, and April 30. So when all are given to me, the criteria that I use is the months that have 30 days, the month that has 31 days. They are randomly placed. Okay. Even if I have February into it, February is definitely odd because it has either 28 or 29. Then the rest of the months are such that they will be 31 or they will be 30 days in the week, 30 days in a month. Okay. So this basic knowledge that which month has how many days is used over here. So they are randomly placed and you have to find out some criteria into them. Sometimes they are alternately placed. Okay. For example, or rather we'll say that numbering them, I may have them. For example, I have January, okay, I have June, I have August. So you have 2 months with 31 and 2 months with 30, we'll say. And I have November, December. I'll have September, say over here. 9 months. Okay. Now if you see there are 2 months which have 30 days, 2 months which have 31 days. So do I have anything else where I can categorize them? Yes. If I see that January is 1, August is 8, June is 6 and September is 9. So instead of January I can have here April, we say, okay, which is 4. So this is 4, 6 and 8. That means they are even numbers. They are the months which have even numbers, whereas September has odd numbers. If you count by days, this is 30, 30, 31 and 30. In that way also August is going to be odd. So you need to find out what is the criteria that you are using. You'll never, if this was a question where 2 answers were correct, you would have option 4 and option 3 to be correct. Okay. So you need to find out the criteria what is going to be asked over here. So we'll have this basic information left over here. Let's rub out this. There's one more criteria what goes over here is about knowledge about words. Okay. Now you have one more example where options are cake, buttermilk, paneer and butter. Now if you see all the 3 items, that's buttermilk, paneer and butter are milk products. Okay, this is processed milk, we'll say. Whereas cake has one of the ingredients as milk, okay, or butter, but it is not entire food product which is made out of milk. Hence, cake is going to be odd. Or you have some products which are fermented and one of them is non-fermented. So classification criteria is not given, will not be asked also. You have to identify that criteria, which will put 3 in one basket and one is going to be odd. One more example we'll give: colt, cub, deer and calf. So you'll know that colt, cub and calf are young ones, whereas deer is not a young one. Okay, so information about young ones, information about their dwellings, information about their sounds, all these things which you have already done in language, okay, will be included over here. So any random question which will be based on, say, science also, living, non-living criteria comes into science. This part comes into grammar. So your knowledge about all the subjects, okay, you need to be an all-rounder. You need to have knowledge about science also, need to have knowledge about geography also. We'll give one example about geography. Okay. Say The option is Kolhapur, Pandharpur, Nagpur and Solapur. So they all are rhyming. Nothing about rhyming is being asked over here. Okay. So what is difference between them? If you see, then only Pandharpur is the one which is name of a city, whereas rest of the three are name of districts. So you need to have one similarity which will be possessed by three options, or one criteria which will be possessed by three of them and which is not there in the fourth. Okay, we'll go to few other examples where they are application based. For example, if you say games are given over here: kabaddi, chess, kho-kho and boxing. So you'll see that kabaddi, kho-kho and boxing. Okay, these three are the ones which are on floor. Okay, whereas chess is the one which is played only 1-to-1, and it is the one which is indoor game, which is considered to be indoor. Nowadays, of course, boxing also is an indoor game. Okay, but chess is the one which is considered to be an indoor game. Ball pen, eraser, pencil and chalk. Now here you need to have a criteria, you need to identify, because most of the things which have already been done, okay, living, non-living, or districts and cities, or grammar part where you have young ones, where you have dwellings, all this is already done. So it is just memory that you are going to pick up. This is the one which you have not done, where you are using implementation based, what you call. Okay, you need to find out what is the criteria which is common in them. Ball pen, pencil and chalk. These three are the ones which are used for writing purpose. Maybe on what they are writing is not considered over here, is a material. Okay, somewhere paper is used, somewhere blackboard is used, but they are used as a writing material. Whereas eraser is the one which is going to rub out what you have written. Okay, so there is one similarity between the other three, and eraser is going to be an odd one. You have one more example from geography. It's Mercury, Jupiter, Uranus and Moon. So if you see the first three options, that is Mercury, Jupiter and Uranus, these are planets, whereas Moon is not a planet but it is an satellite. It's a satellite which revolves around the Earth. Okay, sometimes instead of Moon you have Sun over here, then this question goes into very easy category. Even when Moon option is given over here, the category is not very difficult. Maybe it's a medium one, because many of them don't know the difference between planets and satellites. Okay. Now, one more example which is based on grammar: to be visible, to see, to sit, to look at. Okay. Now, these are the ones which are similar. What are similar into it? To be visible is again to see is there, to look at it is again there. All these are considering, or all these are indicating about what you see, sight. Okay. Whereas the word to sit is different. Sometimes you may have verbs and nouns. You may have some similarity about some are collective nouns and something is an abstract noun. Okay. So your knowledge about, basic knowledge about your language is what is going to be used here. Basic knowledge about geography also, about science also. Okay. To some extent, sometimes even history questions are used over here. Okay. Or your general knowledge is also being tested over here. Sour, sweet, hot and bitter. Now if you see that sweet, hot and bitter, or rather sour, hot and bitter. Sour, sweet and bitter, these are tastes, whereas hot is not a taste. Okay. Maybe when more of chili is added to it, it becomes hot. So chili is also not a taste and hot is also not a taste. But sweet, bitter and sour are tastes that are being described. Sometimes you have internal organs asked into it. For example, if I say brain is there, liver is there, okay, heart is there, all these are internal ones. Ear is there. Okay, ear is an external organ. Or sense organs are asked: eyes, ears, nose and hands. So sense organs is the criteria over there. 3 are sense organs. Hand is not a sense organ. Okay. Forelimbs, hind limbs, these again are outer ones. Okay. They are not sense organs. Maybe you'll have one more organ like head. It's again an external organ. And you'll have lungs into it. So this doesn't match the group. Okay. So questions are based on different criterias. Criteria is what you need to identify. Sometimes when we have said second type of a question, then it is you have set of sense organs that are given and one option which will match to it. Okay, we'll see one example of that type. For example, we'll say okay, words like house, palace and mansion. These are 3 words in a group, and in your options you have restaurant, you have hotel, you have a hut and you have a theatre. Now we know that words house, palace and mansion are used for dwelling purpose. These are the places where we reside, where we live. From the given options, restaurant is not a place where we live. Hotel is also not a place where we live. Maybe you have lodging boarding over there, but it is not a place where we are permanently going to stay. But hut is a place, or cottage. If one of the options is cottage or hut, then these 2 are the words which are used, is a similar word to house. Okay. Theatre is again a place where we go for entertainment. It's not a place where we are going to stay. Okay. So a group is given which already possesses an similarity. So it becomes easy for you. When a group is given and they are asking you an option, then it is very easy for you to find out. For example, maybe even this example we have taken, okay, of months. Then I may have January, May, April and August. Sorry, April is in 30 days. So January is there, May is there and August is there. These 4 are in the same group. Then I know it becomes very easy for me to find out what is the criteria. And in given options, I may have April, I may have September, I may have December and I may have November into it. So December is the correct answer, which is 31 days. In this, you can also have leap years. Okay. For example, if I say second option 1940 plus 9, third option 1836, 3 and 4. $1800. Okay. Then I need to find out what is the criteria for leap year basically. Okay. How do I identify and leap year? The basic criteria to find out a leap year is I am going to check out only last 2 digits. Okay. We know that the number which is divisible by 4, okay, is going to be a leap year. Now, if you see all these 4 options are divisible by 4. So, does that mean all of them are leap years? No. You have one exception into it also. That if last 2 digits are 00, then last 2 digits are 00, then what do I do? I am going to divide the entire number by 400. Okay. That means these 2 digits are supposed to be skipped out and I am going to divide rest of the number by 4. Okay. Or the entire number divided by 400. This criteria gives me which is a leap year. So if you find out all these 2 are already leap years. We know 1800 and 2000. I am going to check both of them. So is 1800 a leap year? It is not a leap year. Whereas 2000 is a leap year. Okay. So 1940, 1836, these are leap years. 2000 is also a leap year. Only 1800 is not a leap year. Rather 2000 is also not a leap year. There's a different reason for it. We'll go for a different answer over here. If I say that this is 1600, then 1600 is divisible by 4. Okay. So when there are 3 zeros, they are supposed to be divided by 4000. So 1800 is not a leap year because this entire number cannot be divided by 400, and hence this is not going to be a leap year. So criteria over here was given years are leap years or not leap years. They have not asked you anything directly, but looking at those numbers you have to find out. Okay, this is one of the criteria where we will go for classification. We will go to the next topic of classification, that is numbers. Classification of numbers. This again is a very big topic. Okay, where your basic knowledge is going to be about numbers. What knowledge do you require about numbers? Is all type of knowledge that you can have. Everything, each and everything that you do with numbers. Okay. We'll make a list about what type of numbers have you learned. Type, or we'll say kind of numbers that you have. Okay. For 5th standard level, you know what is even number and what is odd number. You know what is prime number and what is composite number. You need to have knowledge about squares, cubes, it's 1 to 30, 1 to 20 at least for cubes. Okay, when you have knowledge about squares, you need to have knowledge about square roots also. It's by default cubes and cube roots. So this is the basic information that you are supposed to have on which questions are asked. Now sometimes the questions are not only asked about this, but it is the pattern on which it is given. Okay, maybe they are in series or they have some similarity between them. We'll see some examples about it. Okay. Find the odd term. Again here question is same. Find the odd term. Okay. Options are 2, 6, 8 and 4. Now the moment you see them, you will see that all of them are even numbers. Okay. Is there some other criteria? There has to be some other criteria into them. So 2, 6, 8 and 4. The criteria is 6, 8 and 4 are composite numbers, whereas 2 is a prime number. Even if it is an even number, the other thing that it possesses is prime number. So your criteria doesn't mean that 2 is prime, so it is odd. Your criteria is because 6, 8 and 4 are composite and 2 is not a composite number, it is going to be odd. Always remember, when you pick out something odd, that means it doesn't match to the group. So similarity has to be identified within a group. Never try to find out this is odd because this has this. Okay, it's not because it is having something different, it is because it is not having what the others have. Okay, then you become an odd person, or then that particular term becomes an odd thing. We'll go to next example. 813, 764, 3-digit numbers here, so we'll write them. Okay, or we'll go to a different one. It's 48, 17, 26 and 37. According to us, this is an high level difficulty question. If you just look at the numbers, okay, if you have by-hearted the squares, you will see that this is 16 plus 1, 25 plus 1 and this is 36 plus 1. And what are these numbers? 16, 25 and 36? These are squares. So when we talk about numbers, you should be so used to them. Okay, you need to be friendly with them. You need to have every knowledge about it. So the moment you see the numbers, your brain should start working on it. You need to discard one of them. Okay, so it was square plus 1, whereas 48 is square minus 1. It is not square plus 1. 49 was a square, so it was 49 minus 1 and not plus 1. Okay, so these three are similar and this is a odd term. Not necessary they'll give you directly squares. Had these been in this way, that this is 48, this is 16, 25 and 36, it would have been an easy category question. You don't need to think much on it now, because this is 16, 25 and 36, which are complete squares, and 48 is not a complete square. So this category is easy category, but one more step ahead. So these numbers plus 1, or it can be minus 1 also. I may have something where I'll say that this is 15, this is 24 and this is 35 and this is again 48. We are here at 48 also, but when this is 48 over here, they all become similar. Okay, this is 49 minus 1. So I may have this as 49 maybe. Then I need to have a different category over here. I can have this as 47 directly with minus 2. Okay, so either it is square, it is plus 1 or minus 1. When I say you need to by heart them, what do we mean is I need to have them so much in my eyes. Okay, I need to be so friendly with them that the moment I see them, I need to identify what it is. They are even numbers, they are prime numbers, they are composite numbers, they are squares of something. Or one more category we have over here, we'll see is a very simple one. Okay, it's 55 or say 155, 144, 111, all are divisible by 11, 171. Okay, now 155, 144, 111 and 171. You will see that 171 is the number which is not divisible by, here last two digits are divisible by 11, or we will say that their differences, okay, are in terms of 11. They all are in terms, or rather we will go with not have this. Then this becomes a very easy category question. Okay, it's 55, 44 and 11. Very, very easy category question. Right? So their difference may be different, but they all are divisible by 11, whereas 71 is not divisible by 11 and 71 is odd. So criteria doesn't mean 71 is not divisible by 11. Criteria is these three are divisible by 11 and that is not divisible. Hence it is going to be odd. Okay. So always remember, when you are writing numbers, you have to be very good at them. You have to be very friendly with them. The moment you see them, you need not. We'll have one more example where we'll see that 23, 27, 29 and 31. Okay. So if you go to their difference, again difference is different. But if you see 23, 29 and 31 are prime, they all are odd numbers. Okay. If you go for criteria of even and odd, then all are odd numbers. But if you see with 23, 29 and 31, these are prime numbers and 27 is the only composite number. Okay. Hence it is odd. So all are composite, one is prime, all are prime, one is composite. Any criteria can happen over there. So looking at the numbers, you need to find out. You need to by heart so many things over here. Okay. You need to have that basic knowledge at your tips. You cannot afford to forget anything over there. Okay. So this is all with numbers. We'll continue with numbers in our second session. Thank you.